Hello everyone, this is Vicky StitchNButton, and I am back for another bi-weekly update. This is my Flosstube number 132, and today is May 3rd. May 4th tomorrow, we'll be doing some Star Wars stitching. But for now, let's get you all caught up with what's been going on over the past couple of weeks. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody that's reached out to me. My stress level has lowered considerably. The stuff that was going on has since resolved itself, and it's all good. It's all good. See? Just had to wait it out. I have zero patience. Some of my friends know, like Cheryl from Fickle Stitches knows about my patience problem. And it was just stressing me out. But it's all good now. I also have an update. I had put out a request for some silks for you for a friend of mine, PR166. It was a hot pink color, and boy, it was even brighter when I saw it. I did get it to her, to my friend Becky, and she finished her piece, and I'm going to insert the picture here of what it is. I made her send me a picture when she was all done. It's called Lovebirds. She thinks it's called Lovebirds. It's from Autumn Lane Stitchery, and I think it looked great. So thank you again to Pixie for getting that thread out to us so we can get somebody with a finish. She was ecstatic for sure. I also want to let you guys know that I'm going to sprinkle in some giveaways. I'm in a good mood, and I'm going to sprinkle in giveaways during this episode, so pay attention. All right, start out with some of the cross stitch first. We're going to go with a finish. I was working on this. It wasn't very large. It is Autumn Harvest Collection Taboo Kitty. I don't even remember when I started this, but I finished it the other day. He's all done. I still have to put a back on him. I have felt somewhere in this crazy craft room. That's another thing. I cleaned out this craft room for, I don't know if it was before my last video or not, but I spent hours in here cleaning, moving things so I can clean the floors because they're so full in here. I had to move everything. The dog was all out of sorts. He was pacing the hallway. It was nuts. But in the meantime, I did finish this, and I just need to pull out felt and put a backing on it and some type of hanger or probably a magnet. I think a magnet will be cute. But done with that one. I have a new start. Impromptu, I was sort of feeling out of sorts every time I thought about my 94 whips that I had going on. There was nothing I really wanted to stitch, and I tried. I pulled out different things and I stitched on them, and I was like, okay, I was happy to get the stitches in, but it wasn't something that was drawing me in to want to stitch more. And I ended up doing a new start out of the blue. It only had 4 colors. I decided to pull it out. Now, Gina, my BFF Gina, I told her already she's not allowed to look, so I'm not going to say the name of the chart, but Gina, look away. This is what I started. And I am stitching it for Gina. And don't look, Jean. I'm telling you. And this is how far I've gotten. I'm over halfway done. And this is on a piece of, I think it's a 32. I think it's a 32 or 30. It's either 32 or 24. Or 28. I think it's a 32 count linen. And yeah, over halfway done. Okay, Jay, you can watch now. All right, next up. I've been making some plans for this month. Again, I'm not sure how many starts I'm going to do. If any, I probably will start a few things because they're all going to be smalls if I do. I've decided to go through magazines this month. So, Magazine May. Any new starts that I have from here on out will come out of a magazine. So, I was actually looking a little bit earlier today, and I found 2 that I ended up printing because I have the digital copies of them, of the magazines. And the magazine I'm talking about is Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I have the digital and some of the hard copies because I stopped getting hard copies and I just went digital, and you can download all of them, so I did, which benefited me because, well, even though I can leaf through this, I can just print out instead of trying to get this on the scanner to get a working copy. Anyway, so the one I was thinking of kitting up is Winter Wonderland Keeper. It's from Barbara Anna. I think that's cute. And then another one, and I've already printed out the working copies, is Sweeping the Garden, which is another Barbara Anna. And I was thinking maybe I need to pull a magazine out and go and do a segment where we go through some old magazines, because although they're old, sometimes some of these designs seem to be coming back, refreshed. There's a lot of people I know, Pam and Steph. Pam has done a lot of older things, and people are looking for them now because they're like, oh, I like that. Even though some of the stuff is old, if you update it either by color, or maybe it just still looks good, or looks good all over again, or if you update the fabric, sometimes it was the fabric that needed to be updated, and you can make it new and fresh. Or maybe it's just, you know what, I really like that old stuff again, let me do it. Different reasons. So maybe I'll go through some of my old magazines. These, most of them are all just cross-stitch magazines. There's some cross-stitcher magazines, and probably a couple others sprinkled throughout. So maybe I'll go through and we can do like a little, hey, look, found this, thought this was cute, it's in this magazine. That might be a thing I might do. All right, so let's go with one giveaway item before we get into what I've been stitching. I went through, actually it's going to be 3 giveaway items. I went through, I have a flower frog, and I went through some of the scissors, and I'm just ready to offload some scissors that I don't use, and some people might collect them. So I do ask that if you put in the keyword for the scissors, there's 3 different pairs. If you put in the keyword for the scissors, that you be US, please. Just because to send a pair of scissors outside of the US is going to be kind of pricey. Now, if for any reason you're outside the US and you decide you'd like to put your hat in, you know, get a chance at winning, and you're willing to pay the shipping, absolutely, that's fine. Or maybe we can even go halves or whatever, that's fine. But it's just, it's one package that would cost $4 here in the US goes up to no less than $10 or so. Once it goes international, it's stupid crazy, and it's going up. It's going to be going up. Anyway, so the scissors. I have 3 pairs of scissors. The first pair I'm going to show you are these little flower pot scissors. They're slightly tarnished. I polished them up the best I could. They're older. And these ones actually work. I think, is it these ones? Hang on. Let's get some orts out here and test. How about that? They work. They're not the sharpest, but they do work. But if you just want them for ornaments, it's probably best. The next one. So if you want to be put in to win these, flower is the keyword for these. Next ones are these angel ones, which I'm almost positive are actually pretty sharp. Yeah, these ones are actually pretty sharp. These are shinier. So if you'd like to be put in to win these, the keyword's going to be angel. And then these next ones are purely ornamental, I think, because they're a little loose. They're not so sharp. I think these were Kelmscott scissors. Cat. Cat is the keyword for these. They're pretty thick and heavy. It's all solid metal. So that's 3 of the items I'm going to give away. There's still going to be more later. I'll throw them in. So, what did I stitch on? Let's get to that. I went through, as you know, I'm doing a portion a month on my Guardians of Notre Dame. Well, If you're new here, you probably don't know that, but I am. And this is what it's supposed to look like when it's done. I had already had that month done, so this was my January. And I started down, and then December will be the center. I am stitching this on 32 count Victoria Motto sampler linen in the color Shadow. It was a monthly fabric. I don't know if it's still available. And I finished my April part. There's the fuzz. So I finished my April part. I counted most of the stitches and some of the back stitching for a prompt, and then I just finished up the back stitching. This one went a lot quicker than the others. There weren't a lot of full stitches. It was lots of empty space in here. So, you know, the stitching that was here was half the time that it was up there. But I'm still really happy how this is looking. And I'll be starting the next month eventually. I don't know when right now. It'll be done this month though. Oh, and that needle minder is available on my group. I changed my nails the other day. I get my nails from Jen Upton. She's On Point Polish. The name's down in the description box. I ordered from her, and I had these ones, and I decided to change it up. My poor little stubby nail's starting to grow out. This one cracked yet again and broke. Maybe because I use it too much. Alright. Guardians of Notre Dame. Next. I stitched on a good bit of things. But that's what happens when you're indecisive. Okay, so the next one is Dark Queen of the Earth. It's from Autumn Lane Stitchery. And I don't have the cover photo because it's not done yet. But I'm still on part 1. It's okay. I am stitching this on Nightshade from Under the Sea Fabrics. That when it first came out, you could order from Under the Sea the fabrics that were suggested. I went with the green instead of the brown. I think you can still get the fabrics and the bead packs from Leslie from Under the Sea Fabrics for this. This is a 32 count Lugana. I put in 519 stitches on this. And that's how far I got. When I first started, I only had the green done. So any other color besides green is what got done. I was happy with the progress though. I had one to stitch on it, and I just randomly pulled it out and was like, this is what I'm stitching on tonight. And I think I did all that in one night. So I'm not sure when I'll be stitching on her again. But I would like to get a little bit further. I'd like to finish part 1 at least. I mean, come on. Alright, another one I randomly pulled out. I just went and pulled a bag when I couldn't figure out what I wanted to stitch on. And it is this, it's a motorcycle from this book from Stony Creek. Vintage Cycles. I am working on the, I think it's 1940 Indian for Frank. I showed him the book and told him to pick one, and that's the one he picked. Now, I put this on 32 count Belfast Wren from Picture This Plus, so I don't think I will be doing the shadowing underneath. I don't think it's going to need it. And I put in, let's see. I put in 511 stitches that night when I stitched on this, and it was all fender, all this fender. There was some of the red there, but like from here on down, but I did the rest. Put all that in. And that needle minder is from Live and Die LA, I want to say. I don't know if she still has them available. Might be her. I think it was from her. But I'm happy with my progress on this. And there's some blends in here. And matter of fact, part of my haul was from 123 Stitch. I had to find this Rainbow Gallery blending thread. Glisten Gloss. It's hard to find. It was really hard for me to find. At first, I couldn't even find it on 123 Stitch. Somebody else ended it. I think I spelled it wrong or something the first time, but there's not too many people that have it. And Rainbow Gallery didn't even have it on their list of things they had when I went to their website. But it does take these, so I got those from 123 Stitch, along with some other stuff, but I'm going to put that in the bag now before I forget. I also have beads for another one for at the Met. I forgot to put the card away. Alright. Next. I, again, randomly pulled something out when I was indecisive as to what to stitch, and it was this piece. I just call it Doctor Who. I don't even know what the real name is. I just call it Doctor Who. It's from Oh My Stitches shop. And this will be coming out tomorrow again anyway because it's a birthday. Because I started this on the 4th. I know it's not Star Wars, but it doesn't matter. I don't know what prompted me to start it. It doesn't matter. I ended up getting 575 stitches in on this one. This is being stitched on 32 count dapple from Picture This Plus. It's a Belfast linen. And this is how far I've gotten. I did all this stuff down here. And I filled in some white. I think I did that white. And filled in some blue. And I had to frog a little bit and put it back in the blue. But I don't think I did too shabby. That was all in one night. So this will stay out because it's going to be stitched on tomorrow anyway. So maybe I'll get another 500 stitches in. It fits into, when I say it fits, of course it fits, but it works on Pattern Keeper. So that made it a lot easier. Alright. I'll put this over here. Another one that I pulled out when I was indecisive. I told you it was days I just didn't know what I wanted to stitch on. And that is Aries. This had actually been on my mind, and the Sagittarius one also. So I was like, let's start with this. I think this was one of the first ones I randomly picked up. And this is a panic kit that I purchased when mybobbin.com had a sale. I think about a year or so ago. I know I started it last year, but I think it might have been over a year ago that I purchased it. And I'm using the 14 count. I think it's 14 count. I don't know. It's in Russian. I think it's 14. Yeah, it's 14 count black Ada that it came with. And this is how far I got. I ended up doing 624 stitches. I think I might have done all that in one night also. And I'm trying to think. I filled in, there's this gold and the yellows and the old gold color and this yellow. I filled in all that. The gold color, I think it's stitched with 3 strands, but this gold color is a 12 strand that they give you, and they have you use 6 of them. So what I did was I took 3 and I folded in half, and I put it on the needle, and I let the ends down at the bottom and put it on so it would stay on the needle better. And it worked pretty well. Wasn't too bad. Not sure when this will come back out again, and that is still available on my group. Very stiff 8. Alright. These guys away. Next up, I was on Messenger or something with Belinda from Aussie Stitcher, and she was very happy to see that I had pulled out Animal Magnetism. This is a chart and charms. It's out of print. It's kind of hard to find, and I'm not using the charms that came with it. I'm going to put different charms in there, but that's what it's going to look like when it's done, sort of. I put in 223 stitches. This is a little bit slower going because there's so many color changes. I ended up finishing the spaces in between the zebra and the giraffe, and I finished off the spots in the giraffe that I needed to as far as full stitches go. And then all this is half stitches in 3 strands. So it's 3 strands, half stitches going through. And the reason why I'm coming this way is because there's a mistake up here, which I think I've mentioned before. There's a mistake in the half stitches up here. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to go and come up this way and go around. That way I can meet up and sort of mesh it in, and it'll be fine. And because I want to finish the back stitching in here on the elephant, and then once I get this done around here, then I can do the giraffe, because I don't want to put back stitches in if there's other stitches going next to it. So it's slowly getting chipped away at. Again, I still want to do 100 days of stitching on this at least. Look at that horrible back. This is where I messed up. I noticed I messed up and I just left the thread there. I want to get at least 100 days stitching in on this, if not more. So I have a paper that I'm marking down to make sure that I get 100 days in. There's 223 stitches in one day. It's better than nothing. And I did finish up that giraffe finally. So, thing is, when you're working with prompts and you're doing half stitches only count as half a stitch, so you got to do twice the amount of stitching. It's fine. It's fine. Let me put this over here. All right. Oops. Put this in here too. Next one I pulled out is my grapes pillow. This is a very small picture from the magazine. It came out in 2000, February 2000, just Cross Stitch magazine. It is by Vermilion. It's a Donna Giampa. Vermilion is the designer. I'm trying to see if it's my working copy. I actually ended up making another working copy because I was using different colors and stuff. There's a lot of blends in this. All right. A lot of blends. I'm doing this on 28 count even weave, and I don't remember the name, the brand. It is what it's white fabric. So what did I work on? I did, got it here, 322 stitches. Oh, Monaco. It's Monaco. 322 stitches, and half of them were blends. What I ended up working on was some of this and some of this, and then a lot of what's going on in here. I think that's all I ended up getting. I do know that I have to pick up a stitch here and some here and one there, and that's actually empty. So I think it's still looking good. This is all leaf in here. Sort of cuts out right around there, but all that's a big leaf. So little by little, my last pillow that I did, the lemons, limes, and more, took forever. This should take half of forever. Now that I've sort of got it down to, I've got a mojo when I stitch on it. We'll see. We will see. I did at least make its own bag. Great. All right, next up. I guess this is the 2 weeks of random stitching. This is what it was, because I don't think anything was really planned except for the Guardians. I ended up pulling out Hedgehog House. The artwork is by Jean-Baptiste Monge. Again, we all know I'm not French, right? Lena Lawson Needle Arts is who prints them and distributes. And I am stitching this on 32 count Peddler's Blend from Dames of the Needle using the DMC threads, and I am pretty much done the top except for back stitching. What I ended up doing was, in that 315 stitches, I finished all the full stitches for the top half, which is the first top page, and I blended down into the bottom page. That way, when I go back, I'm gonna do the rest of the back stitching up here, and then more full stitches down there. But I am pretty sure because there were like 3 stitches over here and 2 over there that I had to fill in, and then a few lines of stitches for details coming down. So I got all that done, and I was happy with it, because remember, this is one, well, if you remember from last year or the year before, this is one that I threw into the corner because I made a mistake and I couldn't figure it out, so it stayed there for a while. But he's coming back out because it's not so bad right now. I figured it out. That needle minder is still available in my shop. By the way, I will be having a live sale this Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're on the East Coast, it's 7. West Coast, it's going to be 4. UK, I think, is 1 o'clock in the morning, I think. They're 6 hours ahead. So I'm going to go live here on the channel, by the way. I did it once before, and it seemed to work well, and people liked it, so I had been debating on doing it again, and now that I'm not so stressed, I won't mind doing it so much. All right, what is next? Let's do some more giveaway. I pulled out a whole bunch of the giveaway charts to do, so next up, this chart from Hands On Design, Humble Honey. If you are interested in winning this chart, mention honey. This chart is Her & House Designs Red Border Study number 2. And that says, when this you see, remember me. It's got a couple of alphabets and some motifs. I know that Sunshine Stitchers, EJ and Shelia, are both doing some type of monochromatic Rhapsody Blue and Rhapsody Red or something like that. They change colors on it. But I know they're doing some, and I've seen a couple other people doing monochromatic samplers, so if you're interested in getting in on that, we're going to go with the word border, B-O-R-D-E-R. That's the one I'll search for that one. And then I have Hannah's Motif Sampler. And that's from the Sampler Girl. Apparently this is stitched in the die is cast threads, but there is a DMC conversion on the back. Or you can just go through your stash and do what you want. So if you're interested in winning this one, it's going to be Sampler. And then another one. This is from Cottage Garden Needleworks, and it's the ABC Sampler. So if you're interested in this one, you'll put in the A, B, C all together, the letter A, the letter B, the letter C all together, and that's what I'm going to search for. And I have a few more I'll give away, but let's get into some other stuff first. I made a couple of purchases. I said the 1, 2, 3 stitch order came. I had ordered the beads for, I think this is for At the Met. I got to put those in there. And then the threads, and I kept on looking because why not? And I ended up getting some more 11-inch Q-snap clamps because I think I only have like one left, and I always keep a couple on hand. And then this one. This is Peace on Earth from Cottage Garden Samplings. Are they? Yeah, Cottage Garden Samplings. And this is an older one, but I think it's pretty, so I went ahead and purchased that. And then I had an order in with the whole stitching caboodle. And that came in. I have an order coming from Tiny Home and Bird Stitchery shortly. So, whole stitching caboodle. Make sure there's nothing in there and I can throw that out. I ended up ordering this cute chart, Big City Christmas. Reminds me of being in Philly with the checker cabs. I know there were a lot more checker cabs in New York, but Philly had them too. And then Cosmic Dreams from Barbariana. Don't know when I'll start any of these new ones, but, you know. We're collecting, correct? Alright, next up. I did receive a little bit of Stitchy kindness. As I said, some people have reached out to me about the whole being stressed thing. And one of the people that reached out to me sent me a package. I was waiting for a package from Joann's, and I received a box. And I'm looking at it going, the box looks a little bit small for it to be what I thought it was. It was some fabric. I was like, and I don't think they send by FedEx. And I don't think they send from Alaska. So I was totally puzzled as to what this box was. And I opened it up, and there was a card. It's from my friend Janice. She's, I think she has old YouTubes on here. It's Northern Stitcher, Northern Stitcher, one of those. And she had sent me these gold nuggets. They're candy-covered chocolates. And there were 6 bags of these. And they remind me of, if anybody remembers back in the day, there was Sixlets candy, Sixlets, and they were little round, different colored ball candy, and they were chocolate with candy coating. That's what they taste like. The texture is like an M&M texture, but that's the flavor, was that kind of chocolate. And then there were 2 of these boxes in there. And I had to look right away because it said Wildberries products. And I'm like, oh my goodness, let me make sure there's no strawberries. Frank's allergic. No, there were no strawberries. There were the 2 boxes of these. Now, this is the box of dark chocolate mousse. And then there's another box. It's milk chocolate. So I kept these just so I could show them. And now we can eat more. I already opened up a couple of the bags of the nuggets. They're really good. Janice said it's one of her favorites, and she loves this shop. It's local to her. So, again, thank you, Janice. I had already talked to her and thanked her, but thank you again. And what else? I have a couple more charts to give away, and then I think I'm pretty much done. Then I can get to stitching, putting away stuff and doing some stitching. It's kind of early for me tonight. Shocker. Okay, last few to give away. I have this box of stuff, and it's time to get rid of some. So we're going to go with this one from Homespun Elegance. It's May Our Heartworks Fulfill Our Heart's Desires. It's kind of cute, right? So if you're interested in this, you want to put in the word desires. D-E-S-I-R-E-S, desires. Next one, Backyard Visitors. And this one is a Leisure Art. That's Leisure Arts, yeah. Leisure Arts. These are cute, but I have other bird designs that I'd rather stitch. So I figured I'd give up this one. I think that's cute. I almost kept it for that, by the way. So, if you're interested in this one, Backyard. And then one more for the road. Mystic Stitches Before Sunrise. This is a full coverage, just to let you guys know. The stitch count is 250 by 200, so that means on 14 count, if you were to do it, it would be 16.86 inches by 14.29 inches. It's kind of small, believe it or not, for a full coverage. So if you're interested in stitching on this, Sunrise. is the keyword for that. I am double checking all the stuff that I have here. Now, as far as the giveaways go, don't forget, you don't want to say giveaway, be over 18. If I don't have your address, I'm going to need it. There is still a form in my description box below. Sorry. That's another thing I got that's new, by the way. I don't know if I could show it to you. Maybe. It's a mug warmer. I had one that was USB, but it burned out within a couple of months. So I bought this one that actually plugs in, and it's got the timer. It's got this little silicone thing, and it has 3 temperatures, and 3 times it'll do 4, 8, and 12 hours on it. It's also good for warming candles instead of burning candles. But I just hit the button by accident. All I have to say that I hit the button by accident. Very thirsty. Needed some water. Be over 18. I'm going to need your address in the description box below. Go ahead and read. I always put stuff in there from the show, and there's ongoing things on there. I know that the Stitching in the Springs, God, that scratch looks horrible. The Stitching in the Springs retreat is still going on. And as far as rooms, I'm not sure she has any rooms left, but there are day passes available for that. That's in Ohio, near Dayton. There's the information for the nails, for the, because these aren't fake nails. They are real nail polish from Color Street. And I think they work great. The best way I get it off, I found, is to use gel nail polish remover that I got from Amazon. I just brush it on, wait a couple of minutes, and then I get to wipe it off, and then I take some nail polish remover and get the edges, and I'm done. And I put on a new set, and it dries. I mean, it's dried right away, pretty much. What else is in that description box? There's a link that you can fill out for Stitchy Friends if you want to fill that out and just answer whatever you do or don't want to in there. And I could always revert to that if you win anything. You can just let me know that you're in there. What else? Oh, there was one more thing. I feel like Columbo again. There's one more thing. I did get some new needle minders, so I figured I'd show them to you real quick. I got Hershey Kisses. And Black is Beautiful. And this one has a whole bunch of words on there. I think I was calling this one Beautiful Woman or Beautiful Black. I don't remember what I called it. This one, it says Black Woman, Powerful, Beautiful, Resilient. This one, Powered by Caffeine. Oh, Caffeine Owl. Keep It Squatchy. This Celestial Dragon. It's got constellations in the background. Bring Me Solo. Jabba the Hutt. Oh, Squirrel. It looks so cute. And I got in more Monopoly board needle minders because I had run out of these. That's it for now. I did make an announcement last week that I'm going to start making project rolls. I started them. I have a whole bunch cut out. Well, some cut out and ironed, and I need to get the sewing, so that probably will, oh my goodness, that probably will happen tomorrow. I'll probably start sewing tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to do it tonight, but I did some ironing, and I bought a real size ironing board because the one I have is antique and I didn't actually want to use it. And then I just had the mini one. So that's what's going on there. I also have another product that I'm waiting for stuff to come in. It's going to be a few weeks before it comes in, before I can launch that and show you guys. But for now, I have plans for this month to do magazine starts. If I do any new starts, it'll be probably magazine starts. I have some kitted up already too, which I just have not I thought about digging for them last night and didn't feel like getting off my lazy butt. But I want to do some new magazine starts, because how many magazines do you have and you never do the stitching out of it? I do that all the time. You just, oh, this is cute, and put the magazine away and never to be looked at again. So I'm doing some magazine stuff. I also plan on doing for this month the Notre Dame, and I'm going to work on Waterhole Guardians this month. I'm also going to work on Winter Wonderland, and then my America from M Designs. That's going to get worked on, and Garden Prelude's going to get worked on. So there's stuff in the works. I am hoping to finish that special stitch for Gina, unless I find out she looked at it, and then I'll just burn it because I'm petty. Anyway, so I got some cleaning up to do, and then I have some stitching to do, and yeah, I hope everyone's doing well, and don't forget, don't let anyone steal your sunshine.